Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have a crustacean in your room? If you're a long-time viewer on my channel, you will know my family likes to look after pets. We currently have a dog, but we've had way more pets in the past. We've had fish, frogs, shrimp, tadpoles, the skinwalker stuck in our attic, but once we got a dog, all those pets kinda just came to a stop. Until 2021, when I got hermit crabs, and that's what this video's about. So the way I acquired these crabs was as a birthday surprise from my mom. And boy was it a surprise, because it didn't only surprise me, but also my dad. But the sheer force of my mom caved over my dad's anti-crab bickering, so 1 month later I had a big 10-gallon tank on my desk and 2 crabs, Dwebble and Reginald. Now Dwebble was a small, friendly land hermit crab that enjoyed sitting on my hand and is probably more intelligent than me, which may or may not be a good thing. And Reginald was a huge, semi-friendly purple pincher crab that also liked to sit on my hand, which may or may not be a good thing. Now Dwebble and Reginald were doing great throughout May and June, but in July we might have accidentally poisoned Reginald. So hermit crabs are very picky with their water, meaning if there's even a drop of chlorine in their water, they drop dead. So for drinking, my family dechlorinates tap water ourselves using something we found at Petco, and that works, but we always bought salt water for bathing in bottles. Anyway, in July we couldn't find saltwater bottles, so we decided to try and use another Petco product to dechlorinate and turn tap water into dechlorinated salt water. So we did it and we put the salt water in the tank, but before I went to bed I saw Reginald bathing in the salt water. Next day I wake up, Reginald was found laying on the floor of the tank, and it took me about 5 minutes to put 2 and 2 together. Wow, that looks like some great water to bathe in. Drop of chlorine, they drop dead. Yeah, we didn't mix the water right, and Reginald was the unlucky fool to use the water. But Dwebble was fine, so we got the salt water out of the tank, buried Reginald, and went to get another crab to replace him, also known as Genji. Now Genji and Dwebble looked fairly close to the same, despite a few color differences, and it was at this point I realized how little these things do. Dwebble is all silly and fine, but I don't think I saw Genji the entire time we had him. I don't know how he survived because he was always buried in the substrate. Don't you want to drink your really expensive Pope-blessed water? Anyway, Genji went in December, and the way he died still ignites fury in me. So one day I was about to go to school and I saw Dwebble walking around the tank in Genji's shell. That is not good. So we looked around the substrate and we found what looked to be Genji's corpse outside of his shell. And when hermit crabs are out of their shell, they pretty much look like scorpions if they were aquatic and really prissy with their water. So we pretty much accepted Genji bit the dust. But we kept him in the tank for a bit of time before burying him. And good thing too, because he was still somehow alive. But from the looks of it, he was dying. So we propped him up, kept Dwebble away from him, and we tried to help him. We did everything we could, but this stupid crab could not choose between life and death, which is strange because I think life is a much better choice. Genji finally decided 2 weeks later, and he chose death. And he chose it at an ideal time too, because we were going on vacation soon, and I didn't exactly want to give my buddy Toby, who watches my crabs on vacations, a tank with a dying crab in it to watch. See you later. Now how did Genji die, you may think? Well, here's my theory. Hey dude, please, stop. I then think that us poking around while he was vulnerable probably wasn't a good idea, and that's what eventually did him in. My dad's theory is a lot more dark, but I don't think Dwebble would be the type to purposely murder his tank mate for a shell. Anyway, in January 2022 we got Mordekaiser, but we just called him Mordecai, and then once I quit League of Legends we kinda just made Mordecai his official name. Honestly, Mordecai's a healthy balance between Dwebble and Genji, because I can hold him, but he still does nothing. Both Dwebble and Mordecai are still kicking as of this video. Now the question is, will I get a third crab? No, I will not get a third crab. I have my dog, 2 hermit crabs, and my grandmother. That's enough creatures for me, and Dwebble doesn't need another friend to use as a step stool. Anyway, thanks for watching and goodbye.